get it. Change over. Oh, well, now we're in the shimmying. And then it dropped. And then no beat. See, that's just damn. And then just no beat. Just like, man.
It is.
And then I almost was about to hit it. And then
we don't need to see that. We don't need to see that.
That was it.
What is up, everybody? We are here again, the Hardwood Knuckleheads, episode 35 on them.
Is that 35?
35 on them, bro.
Yeah,
35.
1, 2, 3, 4, 35. Yeah, just man.
35. Yeah, man, we here. So
that's a lot.
Yeah, man. Yo, we just wanted to get with y'all. Quick little episode.
Yeah.
Talk about what we've seen so far in this tournament.
Man.
It's been a great tournament so far. Not for my bracket.
Man, I was gonna say that's the one thing where like I really feel like that last week when we did this episode on Wednesday, and I was like, I felt really good about some of these picks. I was like, you know what? I feel like this is it. These go and then something had happened. They was like, we're gonna go ahead and we're not gonna let that. I mean, it started off with Duquesne. Duquesne. Yeah. I call Duquesne. No, it's like,
But we're giving new names now.
Start off with Duquesne. I mean, they playing, and I'm looking like, wait a minute, I judged this one wrong. Like, I mean, BYU couldn't guard the on-ball screen. They were getting downhill as much as they wanted to. Then it's like BYU started finally making a comeback. They started going to Robinson. He was cooking, and then they stopped giving him the ball in the last 4 minutes, and it was just kind of like, this is just not good. I mean, so many takeaways. I mean, like we were texting all weekend about this stuff. I mean, where do you even start? I mean, I didn't realize how good Oregon was and how long they were, right? In that first game against South Carolina, I was like, damn, they handled them.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night, they ended up having one of the best games when they played Creighton. And that game was crazy. It was crazy. We had talked about Creighton being a Final Four team, though, too. So, I mean, like, so far they have lived up to, it's kind of interesting because watching them play, it's like the first half, they're just out there just kind of playing. They're not really doing much. They throwing it ahead. They're trying to shoot. They're trying to do whatever. And then they make the adjustments in like the second half. And they just got some dudes that can hit shots, man. And they play. And that game was shit.
That game was fun.
That game was fun to watch. So that was like, I think that well, I don't know. I mean, the
Samford.
Hey, that was a block. I'm sorry,
man.
That was not a foul. They only called that because they were trying to protect the guy who's going to the bat. And like I
get it, but
kind of get that. But
right.
That was clean though. Like it's one thing if he would have smacked him on his arm. I mean, his hand went. I mean, his hands are right there, and the guy went right through it and hit the ball. I mean, that's a 5-on-4 with 20 seconds left on the other side. That all they need is I know, man. I felt so bad for them, but just
And the funny part about that game, that was that game, and then because we had our upsets that we picked, so we had that one. I had that one, and then I think both of us picked the McNeese State, and then the was it that one? Was it McNeese State?
We picked McNeese, and then we picked Grand Canyon as well, there too.
Yeah, but the McNeese State. And I feel
Gonzaga.
like
they played Gonzaga.
Yeah, Gonzaga. And basically, like, Gonzaga just told everybody to F off, man.
They just smacked the hell out of McNeese. And then they turned around and then smacked Kansas.
Right.
It wasn't like they just did it one time. I mean, they had 2 games where you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay. We were talking about how we didn't feel like that this was the same Gonzaga. Well, they put us on notice.
And here's the one thing, like I should have known. Like, and I didn't hear this stat actually until after the tournament started during that game that Gonzaga had made 8 straight Sweet 16s. Like, if I'd have known that, I probably would.
Yeah. You're like, you know what? You give them till at least then, and then.
Yeah, what? That's just.
What are we doing?
There's so much red on my bracket, bro. It's
man.
Oh my God! And then we got Oakland and Kentucky,
and Oakland just decided that they're just gonna
dude. Go.
Hey, he was letting that thing fly. Hey, did you see the stat line on him though? About the season though.
Yes.
On the season stat line, he's taken 353s. He's taken 8 2-point shots.
Yes.
Like so. You gotta know you don't go under any screen, obviously, because he's just looking for just a little bit. And it's like you have to even it's like if he's shooting that much from three, you know that even if it's a bad shot, he's still gonna let that thing go. But he got that mentality, like, listen, if I don't shoot it, it can't go in. So the more I shoot, because
that was just crazy, man. They almost got Calipari fired.
Yeah,
man.
I know.
They almost got Calipari fired. They almost.
I think we were texting about that time there too, because I was like, man, I'm like, well, Cal might be out. This might be too much for him. This whole NIL and the new transfer stuff, and they playing against older guys, and it's just like, man, I mean, that's a
They almost got that man P Diddy. They almost got him P Diddy, bro. All right, I ain't gonna. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone. I had to get one reference in. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna say nothing.
I'm not even gonna follow that. I'm not gonna follow that one. No, I'm not gonna follow that.
No, almost had that man taking a plane out of town.
That's too much. That's too soon.
Yeah. My bad, man. My bad.
Man. But, and then so then getting back, UConn looks. I mean, I don't want to say unbeatable, but damn, I mean, they look good. UConn looks good. And then, so when I was watching this game on Sunday, and like I think I texted you a little bit on Sunday. That last minute and 17 seconds when the Texas A&M and Houston game, there needs to be a master class taught on how to stretch out that time. Yeah. Because Buzz was like, that was genius what they were doing. Like I know that there's a lot of basketball fans. Well, I mean, I don't know if you're a real basketball fan, then it's different. But if you're one that kind of just watches it a little here and there, like, because I've heard this before, like they don't like to watch close games because of at the end of the game.
Right.
It just gets stretched out so much.
Right.
With timeouts, with fouls, with what I mean? All this stuff. And it's like that's like the strategy part of the game.
The strategy of it,
That's just like the seventh inning in a baseball game or whatever, when you walk a guy and then bring in the relief pitcher that knows he can get a ground ball to try to turn to. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's always these chess matches that happen in like the game. And this one, I mean, like you're sitting there thinking like, okay, I'm like, these guys are down. And they're not coming back. Like, they might, you're thinking Texas A&M might get maybe one or two more shots, and like that's going to be it. They're going to, like they'll lose by 10. You'll say, hey, like they fought them hard and whatever. Right. And then it's like the first guard from Houston fouls out. Then you're like, okay, that's different because he's like he's the guy that gets them in their stuff. And then it's like they're trapping so like, and it's like clean pressure, and then they foul real quick because they don't want any time to go off.
Yep.
So they want to make you have to hit the free throws. Then they come down and everything was going and it was attacking because they knew that the Houston's guards were in foul trouble. So they were going to let them get to the basket. So then you get the score, and then you get to set your press up again. And it was just the way that they managed that last minute. Like I thought it was beautiful. Like I mean, it was just like you're sitting there watching. Like, wait, like you just keep seeing the lead just go down. It went from 13, and from 13 it goes from 10, then it goes to 7, back to 8. They hit a 3, it goes to 5, and you're like, wait a minute, like
they doing that thing,
and then they force the trap at the end, and the dude steps out of bounds. Right. I'm like, well, shit. Now they get it. Oh, I was like, wait. And then the one dude hit the shot there at the end. Like, how cool would that moment have been if you're that guy? Like when he laid down and he put his hands on it, you could just tell there was just so many emotions that were going on because he misses that shot, and you say, great effort, Texas A&M. Like you almost got there, and you know what I mean. It's that one, or it's like he hits it, and then you give them some more life.
Yeah.
It's like now we got 5 more minutes, and now you got and now the momentum goes the other way, and it was that was crazy. It was crazy. And then all the Houston's guys fouled out. All their guards fouled out.
Bro, if it wasn't for Wade Taylor, having the worst shooting night probably of the year,
too, because he's
usually a bucket.
Yeah, no, he's usually that guy, right?
So you had the beauty of that game, and then you had the chaos, the utter freaking chaos, bro, of the Grand Canyon, Alabama game. That game was about as nutty and dysfunctional and rugged as I've ever seen a game, bro.
Right. It was going back.
It was like WWE basketball.
I didn't understand. I just felt like that. I felt like Grand Canyon went away from what they had been trying to do, like or even in like the game before.
Yeah,
they just totally like went away from the game plan and I was like, you guys are not. I just don't know if they're one-on-one guys like that so much. It just felt like everything just kind of turned into iso ball. And
I mean, they got one dude who can do it, but the problem is Alabama just started sitting in gaps and making
it extremely
tough.
Did.
You know what I mean? Just like they needed to get that thing moving and make them move around, you know,
and then try to attack him like off of a closeout or something. You can't just attack a guy when he's sitting in a gap because he's already there. So it just made it just tougher. So.
There's so many good games, man. And here we are, you know, like I said I put in the open, you know, we had some Cinderella stories, like they tried to show up to the ball and then they just got kicked out, man. They got
listen,
you know what I mean?
We're gonna let you come for the first hour, and after that, it's
you gotta go. You got to go.
Yeah, you got to go. So just I mean, and then it was like as soon as that happened though, too. I mean, so Washington State wins like their first game. They lose the second one. They played it tough, and then all of a sudden, Kyle Smith gone. FAU plays their game against Northwestern. They lose. Dusty May gone. Sprinkle plays in his game. Utah State as soon as it's over. I mean, it's like guys are getting picked off before they can even have time to think, or even just kind of consider what just happened with the season and all this. Like that's how fast that thing moves, and that is crazy.
I know. It's crazy because I was texting back and forth with Sprinkle over the first round. You know, we just chat back and forth. Even last week in the Mountain West tournament, and so we were texting after he won the first round game, and then I sent him a good luck text, and he was like, "Appreciate you, bro." Right, and so after that game ended, I sent him a good game. Congrats on a great season. He hit me back, and then he got that Washington job, and I knew.
Right.
I sent him that text. Like, congrats on the new gig. I know that was a tough decision. Man, I know they shut that damn number out. He ain't got that number no more.
Oh yeah, he ain't got. Yeah, no, what you mean? Yeah. Somebody else is getting that. Like, who's this guy? Just like No. They didn't already got that man a new line and everything.
Because
IG page, new everything. Like it's just they got people that are working on it.
Because all the damn Utah State fans was hot over it.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I get it.
But they gotta understand there too. I mean, it's not like, again, no offense, but some of those schools got it. Like they gotta realize that some of them are not. They're not ideal destination spots for people to go. Like it's a place. Go ahead.
I got a question for you on it because when this was all happening, and I had already heard that he was like the top target for Washington. So like, I had a feeling, and I didn't even ask him about it because that's whatever, bro. Like you got stuff to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and I'm not saying he made the wrong decision, but like sometimes I wonder. Like I get it. It's what is it? What's a Big Ten?
Yeah, they're going to Big Ten. Plus, I mean, and it was funny because I was just having this conversation there too. Because I mean, you got to think the Big Ten plus the new restructured deal for the Big Ten for the football and all the money that's going to come in there and how that's going to.
So there's that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, there's so much.
But I would actually argue, if you look at the two schools, like Utah State might be a better job.
Right. Like as far as being able to still continue to go into the tournament and be able to kind of do right. Yeah.
And the fan base, like they got a great fan base, they got a great arena.
Right.
And I'm not I'm glad he went. Good for him. Like I hope he's able to get.
He does well. Going, exactly right. Absolutely.
But it's like, ooh man, sometimes like you wonder, like, is he? Are these coaches leaving their current gig that might be really good and in a really good place, like and I get it. There's if it was up to me and you offered me all that money, I'll probably go too. You know what I mean?
Right. I think the money more so has anything to do with it than I don't know. I mean, like going to U. I mean, so now he's going to be in like it's UW, it's Big Ten. I just think there's a different kind of kid that you can recruit, knowing that you're going to be in the Big Ten. And again, no offense to it, but I just think that just mentality wise, I just think that that's just how people perceive it. You know what I mean? And kind of I mean, it happens with the media because they call all these ones your Power 5 conferences, and you're like, you know what I mean? So they basically make it sound like that if you're not that, and those are the ones that always get the TV time, and they get all. And so it's like there's all this stuff that goes, and a team like a Utah State, like when do you see them on TV?
Right.
You don't see him until the Mountain West tournament. Like, and again, I totally get. I mean, because we were mid-major guys, and so like I totally get it. So I got nothing but love and sympathy for him. But when it comes to those ones, and I don't know, I just think just bigger that. And then I wondered there too, how much of a challenge is it as far as for the new, like the guys that are going to come in there, like your Sprinkles, your Coach Smith, and all this. It's like, okay, now you're going in here in the Big Ten with 20 teams.
Yes.
You guys are recruiting all the same guys.
Yeah.
What's your pitch, and how is it going to be any different than anybody else? Like, you know what I mean? What are you going to say that's going to make a kid, like go to Stanford versus UW, or that's going to go to, like Michigan State versus Ohio? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you saying? How's your pitch? And so and then also just like geographically too. I mean, Sprinkles got a really good base, and he was there, he was only at Utah State for a year though, right?
Only a year.
That's crazy in a year what he was able to do in like a year. I mean, like, and he didn't really get a chance to build so much of a program as he was just like, nah, I'm just he's a really good coach. And he got players in there and was able to kind of do some stuff. Imagine what he can do with a couple of years if there's some backing behind it. You know what I mean?
And I'll say this. First of all, for all you Utah State fans and all you mid-majors and losing coaches, but specifically for you Utah State fans, hey, hold on. I'm going to give it to you real quick.
What?
Yeah, you know that song.
Is that the Shaba?
Yeah. That's Mad Lion.
Oh, okay, Mad Lion. Okay. I was just like,
I was trying to get it. I was trying to get it to one spot.
In a minute.
Yo, I was trying to get it to one spot, but it's the gotta take it easy. Boing. Hey, I'm just telling y'all gotta take it easy. Chill. Y'all be all right. Y'all be all right.
Okay. You guys are gonna get it. You guys are gonna get a coach. I mean, that's not. They're gonna get somebody.
And going back to Sprinkle real quick, and we'll move on. But like, he moving from Logan, Utah to Seattle.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
Fertile recruiting ground.
Right.
Bro, I mean,
plus they've got all the assistant coaches that are still there, and I mean, and they've got a stronghold, on like the Northwest and Pacific, and just guys that they're like recruiting in general. Same thing with Kyle Smith. Like he leaving Pullman to go to Northern California. Like, I'm just saying it's different. It's just I'm not gonna knock Pullman because because we go there all the time and go watch games and do this. So like I'm gonna knock it, but if you got a chance to live in Pullman or Palo Alto,
hey,
I'm it's just
easy
I'm not
choice.
saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying I understand. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what it is right there. So
all right. Well, let's look ahead of this Sweet 16, man. We got some good
there's gonna be some good heavyweight bouts that are gonna be fought here on Thursday and Friday. It's gonna be crazy.
So best games of the Sweet 16. All right.
Okay.
So let's talk about the East.
Okay, let's talk about the East. The best games
in the East. East, we got UConn, San Diego State, Iowa State, and Illinois.
Now, isn't the UConn San Diego State just a rematch of last year?
Last year's title game.
Yeah. And UConn is just. You could try to pull for San Diego State on some Cinderella shit and just be like, hey, this is payback from last year, but I don't know. UConn looks scary good right now. Like I don't know who's beating you. Right now, I don't know who's beating UConn right this moment. So that one is.
I think that probably in that. I honestly think the Iowa State Illinois game will be a better game.
Oh, I think that's going to be a better game for sure. I think absolutely.
The San Diego State, I like. They got Jaden Ledee. My man is hooping, but like the guard play for San Diego State this year hasn't been great, and you have to have.
Ledee has been scoring though, but he can't do it all by himself against UConn. Yeah. He's just not going to be able to do it. I'm sorry.
And if your guards ain't doing it, you can't keep up.
You're going to have some problems, right? You're going to have some problems.
Because that's a machine right now.
So I like that. And then also, to be honest with you, I hadn't seen Illinois play until they played in that round of 32 game, because you had told me about the guard, and I wasn't even thinking about that guard, but he's wow.
Oh, Terrence Shannon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quick first step, explosive, gets to the back. I mean, okay, you're that guy. You just know that was that's going to be a good game just because Iowa State's so good defensively as a team.
Right.
Like what, and again, it's one of those ones where when you get out of the, like out of those first 2 rounds, you get a chance to go home now, and now you can, you get a chance to scout that game. You know what I mean? So like if nothing else, the Sweet 16 games, I mean, like those ones are going to be tougher, I think, for some of the. I don't like, again, like the UConn one. I don't think that one's going to be so much, but the Iowa State and Illinois one, just because Iowa State has 3 days now to like prepare for how they want to defend against this. And they've been really good all year. So now it's going to be, okay, so what's Illinois going to do, knowing that Iowa State's going to throw some defense or throw some, some looks that's going to try to frustrate him and stuff. So I think out of the East, I think that one's going to be the best one there too. So
I agree. Yeah, let's see. Midwest. Okay. This to me is, I think this is the best set of games.
Yeah, these 2 right here are going to be, because I don't think Purdue is just a clear favorite to win anything. I'm sorry.
And before we even get started, okay, because you watch these games and you get on Twitter and you hear people talking, and I've heard this, and I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I'm sick of the Zach Edey hate, bro. Like I get it, he's huge, right? Like I get it. Like he's huge and it's hard to play against him, and it ends up being a foul fest. But the dude is skilled. No,
he is that. Like, he's that.
Did you know, just, and for all you high school players out there, just know, when Zach Edey came out of high school, 459th ranked kid in his class, 459. Wow. And he's about to be back-to-back player of the year.
Wow.
So, like, and he was skinny and getting his ass kicked when he was sophomore year. Right. He just put that work in. So the dude is talented. But back to the matchup, I agree. I think Gonzaga played him already once this year, right? And so
they did. That's right. They played
the Maui Classic.
That's right. That's right. They did play him.
So I think it might be closer than people think.
And the way that Gonzaga, like they were shooting the basketball so much better last weekend than I had seen them, in like the championship game of the West Coast Conference, or even some of the earlier games. And then they got the guy on the inside that the transfer. I can't remember what his name is. Black guy, left.
Anton Watson.
No, yeah. Ike. I think it's Ike.
Oh, Ike. Oh, yeah.
Yes. So he was a difference maker in both of those games right there too. If they can get that ball moving like that and get those guards going, like I just think it's going to be different. Like the thing with Edey there too is, again, at some point he's gonna, are they gonna do what some of because I was watching some YouTube videos because I was going back and I was watching Purdue versus St. Peter's, and I watched Purdue versus Fairleigh Dickinson, and like they were putting him in situations where he had to guard the on ball on the outside. Right. It wasn't, you know what I mean? Like they had they got guys that are gonna either roll or they're gonna pop, and if they pop, he's got to come in and guard him because they got a guy that can at least shoot the ball. So I got to think that Gonzaga is going to have at least maybe, like 1 or 2 wrinkles in something that they're going to, like try to force him to try to go out there and then play, because if not, and they just play into his hands and just let him just sink and clog up that middle, then I just think that, and if they're not shooting the ball, that's almost an automatic rebound for him every time. Then now they're going to be able to go down. So, so it's going to be an interesting chess match to see what kind of few does with that. But
and then the Tennessee Creighton game, I mean, shoot, that's
real quick though, too, the Creighton-Oregon game might be that one, and the Texas A&M and Houston game are the 2 best games of the tournament so far.
Yeah.
I mean that Creighton one. I mean that game, the Creighton and Oregon game, the lead never got higher than 6 all the way up until the second overtime when Oregon just ran out of gas, and then Creighton scores 15 and it's to like 0, and then it was a wrap, right? But everything, I mean, it was a 6. So then just think, I mean, like, you never get away far enough to try to feel like that you can breathe in the game.
Right. Because they shoot it so well. They shoot it so well. Now that comes up against Tennessee's defense, and Tennessee you know.
Right.
And they can score too, so that's gonna be something, boy.
That's gonna be a really good game right there too. So I mean, so out of those, I agree with you on that. The Midwest, I think, has the best. You know, like those are gonna be the best 2 games. The NC
and
State.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, the Creighton. I got Creighton going to the Final Four. So like, you know,
they're gonna have to get through this right here, which is gonna be 2. I mean, they're gonna have to get through a good Tennessee, and then whoever comes out of that Gonzaga and like Purdue game is gonna have some stuff to them because they're gonna have just the same amount of confidence as anybody else. So that's just And I mean, and then plus those are 2 teams that have both been there. They've been at the Final Four. They've been in, so it's like they're all trying to get back to that. So
well, you go ahead. NC State, Marquette, Houston, Duke, and the South.
It's funny because I mean I was like for Marquette, but I don't know if I like the matchup with what's his name on the inside for Mark. I mean for was it Burns?
The big DJ Burns, baby.
Hey man, he's I mean
he's a problem.
They're playing through him. They're playing through him, and he's making plays, and other guys are stepping up and hitting shots and stuff. And so it's like you can't. They're being really, really disciplined on how they're trying to play, and they're being consistent with it. Nobody's getting in their feelings about, hey, about like we know where the ball's going to go to first, and then after he doesn't have anything, then we got to be ready. Like you don't see any attitudes or nothing like that. Like they're all bought in. They want to keep doing it.
Because they know he's gonna spray it around. Like if
exactly
the comes, he gonna find you. He gonna find you.
Right. You just gotta cut. You gotta move. You gotta make yourself available. But he's gonna make the play there too. But I mean, like the way that just their story just is so cool there too. I mean, the 5. I mean, but even just in like the conference season, they were not doing well in the conference season. Then they had to win 5 in a row. Yeah. I mean, they're really one of. I mean, if you think about it, they're one of the hottest teams in the nation right now.
Oh yeah.
Like they had to win 5 in a row. Then they've won 2. They've got all this momentum right now. I mean,
bro, they wanted the Wolfpack fans. They wanted to fire Kevin Keats. They had him out of there. They were like, he gotta go.
Right.
And now, and the funny thing is, he won the conference tournament. He gets a 3-year extension automatically.
No way.
So the man is made like I think he made like $4 million in a week.
Damn. Damn.
Yeah. Cool story. Cool story.
I think I picked Marquette. No, wait, what did I pick? No, I actually picked Kentucky to win this one, but I thought they messed around.
Yeah, messed around.
Right. So on that one, since I don't have one, like I'm gonna go for NC State on that one. But I mean, I just again watching that A&M game and how they played against Houston. Is Houston as dominant as we thought that they were? Like,
dude. Well,
I'm just saying, like
they're banged up. They got some injuries, and they've been giving up a lot of points lately. Right. Bro.
I mean, for a team that prides themselves so much on the defensive side.
Yup.
I mean, they are. Yeah, I don't know.
But here's my thing, and I know Duke has looked good the first couple of games. I get it. Like they have looked good. The guards are playing well. But it goes back to like Houston still got Jamal Shedd, who is a freaking dude.
And he don't ever get tired.
He don't ever get tired. And he got LJ Cryer. Like so
then they got the shooter too. Don't forget about the shooter.
Dude, they got to me, it's gonna come down to the backcourt. Who wins the battle on the backcourt?
And I mean, and if you look at it, I think that Houston has the better backcourt.
Yep.
But if they get into foul trouble though, like all of a sudden now when they're in foul trouble, I mean, you can see after those 3 guards, they don't have anybody else.
Nah, And the bigs are serviceable, but they just junkyard dogs, which I think will bother Filipowski for Duke.
Because he likes to finesse. He's not much of a power.
Yeah, right. So great matchup, and I mean that'll be good games in that region. And then our last region,
the West,
is the West.
I did not see Clemson. I did not see Clemson coming. Not like this.
Nobody saw Clemson.
I don't think anybody saw. I mean, it's wait, what? Clemson?
Brad Brownell. Hey, here's a reference for you. Doesn't Brad Brownell remind you of Brad Penner?
He does remind you of. He does kind of look like Pinto,
They
does
look
he?
just like they could be brothers.
He probably in the huddle calling them do so many scrubs and everything else too. Because that's all that. Not Penny used to say that to stop playing like a scrub. Like, oh, okay, all right, I got you.
I got you.
Call me a scrub. Yeah. Stop with that.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
but
no.
yeah, they played 2 good games.
They're rebounding and they're defending. Like, it doesn't look pretty all the time, but that's what it is. Like in the New Mexico game, I didn't like how New Mexico started, and I didn't like all the offensive fouls and the flagrants in New Mexico was doing. I feel like it was it was too much. I was like, hey, just, you know what I mean? Like it was almost like you're trying to impose psychologically a different kind of will there, right? You know how it is. You played against teams like that before. They're gonna they're gonna throw some of them early fouls out that just kind of set the tone and stuff, but they couldn't score.
No, they couldn't score.
They couldn't score. I mean, just like Clemson's defense was bothering them, and so it was like, you can try all that other stuff, which is, I guess it sounds good or it looks good in theory, but it's like you on the basket, and all of a sudden you look like, man, y'all quit that shit, man. Hey, for he's just like, man,
why don't you go over there with that? Go over there with that. Stop. Yeah. We all know. We all been to the gym and been open runs, and some dude come in. Come on, bro, get your ass over there.
Come on, like, man, we playing 15. This is the second time up the like just
pump your brakes, dog.
Yeah,
just
chill. Not that serious. Yeah, it is not.
Yeah, I don't think they got enough of Arizona, because Arizona just got too much size, and then you add Caleb Love, you add Larson, and now the scary part of Arizona is they got the Johnson kid freshman. And I think it's Keyshawn Johnson. No, it might be. I may be messing
Kieran. Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then the Jaden Bradley, the transfer from Alabama, who's been balling. Like I just think they gonna overwhelm Clemson.
All of a sudden now they've got some guys right there too. Like they look. I mean, out of the number 2s that are still. Oh, I mean, obviously, I think all number 2 seeds are still in. If I'm not mistaken. I mean, if you had to rank the number 2 seeds right now, like how do you rank? Who's the top number 2 seed right now?
Arizona.
Give it to Arizona over Iowa State and Tennessee.
I think so.
It'd probably go Arizona for me. Arizona, Iowa State, Tennessee, and then Marquette. I think it just But I think that 2 or 3 between Iowa State and Tennessee, those ones can you
can flip flop.
I'm with you on that. Arizona just but.
The UNC Alabama game, I mean,
it depends, because now all of a sudden Alabama's there now, so you're like, okay, wait a minute, like, they're hitting some shots. They like to just get up and down and just shoot it, like and it's. Now,
I feel like that plays into North Carolina's hands, because they will defend you. They will make you do stuff you don't want to do, which is not like, this is not a normal Carolina team. Like you can tell. Like that's become their identity, is how they defend and lock people up. Like Michigan State came out and like kind of punched him in the mouth and jumped up early, and then they were trying to do the same shit that New Mexico was doing, trying to be super physical and talking smack.
All that, just like you don't even need that,
And then Carolina said, "Okay, we gonna turn the screws on y'all."
Okay, we good. I'll throw them. We can throw these back, and that's that's what it is.
So I think we go eventually. I think we gonna get the matchup everybody wants to see. And Carolina, Arizona, the Caleb Love versus his old squad.
We are one game. We're 2 games away from that. If both of them take care of business like they're supposed to, like then that's. But again, that would be one hell of a 1-2 to go to the Final Four. Like that's. Yeah. That even still, like if you look at that one right there too. Like UConn. UConn versus Illinois or Iowa State. I don't know. Again, I like Iowa State, and I'm picking them to just try to just be as like a dark horse. But UConn they've just been so dominant, like the first 2 games. It's hard. It's like but it's like that one that's going to get to the Final Four out of the South. All of a sudden, like that road doesn't. I don't know, like it doesn't look as challenging as the other ones. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't.
You can make a case for any one of them teams.
Exactly right. Yeah, all they gotta do is just be playing well. Like you know what I mean? And just play good enough just to get a break here or there or whatever. And so that's the one that's kind of like a toss-up. I still think in like the Midwest, I think it still goes through Creighton. I think it's still gonna go through Creighton to get to there. I'm still going with them.
See. Okay.
Hey, did you see the set that they ran against the zone where they shot the air ball pass for the dunk?
Yeah.
Hey, that shit was so clean. I was like, he went up there and was like, air ball. Like, I mean, it was just, but it wasn't. It was just like, man, like this. Oh, that's
it was crafty. It was crafty.
Creighton has been running stuff all year though. Like, I keep on like finding some of their offensive sets and things just on Twitter and stuff. I think I've sent you a two just over like the year or whatever. Like they always
run good stuff, man. McDermott knows his shit.
Like, and he does. Yes, he does. Yeah. And he gets some guys to play, and it just like,
and then the fact that you add that they started, like the fact that they adjusted in that Oregon game, and I saw it too. They went to a time. No, they scored a bucket. And they were headed down. They showed they panned over to McDermott on the sideline, and he did like this. And I said, "Oh, it's a wrap. They about to trap every ball screen."
Yeah, right. They waited. They waited trap there too, and then make somebody.
Which they don't normally do. They don't normally do that.
Kind of hedge it and just kind of let it go back. Now you're trapping, and then they got taggers on the opposite side, and then they can't. They couldn't get to the skips. But the one thing about the Oregon part there too. Tell me if I'm wrong on this or not. So right then what happened? It was right before I think that matter of fact, I think it was a 2-point game. And I think that, it was 2-point game. And I think Oregon was up 2. And this was right before regulation. And Creighton had just scored. And then they called the timeout. And then, and so then you know that the trap was going to come. And Altman neglects to take Dante out, the big boy. Because he's like 48% free throw shooter. Right. Who's the guy that runs to the ball, and who does Oregon pass the ball to that gets fouled, and then he misses the free throw, and then they come down and they tie the game. Yeah, you're just like, man, like you're just like, and they're plays like you can get back because that snowballed into regulation, first overtime, and then they did just enough to get to that second one, and then Oregon ran out of gas.
And that was the thing about it, because the rest of the way, all they did was try to do ball screens.
That's it.
So it was like you still putting him in the same situation. Right. Now to his credit, he went 4 for 4 after that.
But in that moment there too, where they needed, it was just one because they couldn't kind of hit that little like teardrop right before the game. I mean, right before overtime, like. Ooh,
y'all in trouble now.
That's right. No, it was like that was it, and then it was like Creighton starts hitting shots, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, like, and then it was like, and then Oregon, like in that the second half, I mean, that second overtime, you could just tell they just fell apart. Like they went out. I think the Creighton hit the first 3 threes or whatever. They went on 9-0 run before anything happened, and then now they had nothing left. Everybody's getting mad. I'm like, you put all that into it, and then you just you don't bury him when you're supposed to bury him, or you don't put him away when you should have. Like they were up 2. I just don't think that he should have been in there as a release guy. You can't tell me that there was another guy on on that bench that's a better free throw shooter than him, knowing that they're gonna.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then they lost the other guard, Shellstad, who went out with an injury, and then after that it was like, give me a 4 that can run this.
Just get a stretch.
So he could slip it, or he could pop it.
Right.
Yeah.
Dante's just all at the basket. It's like, you know what? If you're helping or whatever, and he's big, you get around the rim, he's going to dunk it. But in other situations where he's got to catch it and rip and try to do something.
And make a play or make a pass or read.
Right. All of a sudden now it starts getting tough. And there was one, I can't remember what game it was. There was one, and I felt so bad for the dude. I can't remember what game it was. It was a mid-major. I don't know. Somebody. I'll go back and find it. But the dude got fouled, and he went up to the line, and I think they were down. I think they were down 2. You could tell he wanted no part of them free throws.
No part of that.
That man went up there and was just like. I mean, he missed the first one and got mad. I'm like, bro, your body language don't even make it seem like that you even want to make the shot.
Right.
So like now you're mad that you missed it. And I'm like, what's that about? Like, it's like everything about your body language suggested that you were gonna miss that shot, that you didn't even believe in yourself. And then he missed the next one. You just kind of just like look, like in those situations, like
wasn't that Jacoby Walters at Baylor?
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah, he went up. He went up there and didn't want no part of that. And then it was like the old boy, the white kid from Houston, when what's his name fouled out. And they fouled him. Hey, it was so fun. Like, I don't mean to laugh, but it was so funny because it's like as soon as they fouled him, like the camera goes right to the dad. And the dad's got his hands up. He's like, "Why did they foul my son?" Like he's all like he wasn't a part of it. Why would you give him the ball? Like he's over there saying that. He goes up there in that first and he clanks that first. And it was like it was just like when you're watching it, it's funny, but it's not because like we've all been there, so we understand it. We've all either been there because we were the guy that had to step up and then be on the line to do that, or we were trying to talk to him, and like all that stuff. And so he's walking to the line and he's trying to act like he's like, "Yeah, I'm ready," but you can see his face. He don't want that free throw.
He definitely had lemon booty. He had lemon booty.
He's trying to go, like all the guys, like the Houston guys are in there and then like talking him up, and which they should. They should. It's a team game and showing like that belief. And then he got to the line. It was like before they gave him the ball, they just had that damn close up on him. You just see his lips getting dry. And as the second was going by, like, bro, like, would you get away from this man and just like go someplace else for a second? Like,
shit.
Like the first one, but he made the second one, which was nice. And so like you feel good for him. But it's like, man, and those months, like, man, there's 20,000 people that are here. You can't go to somebody else just for a second. I mean, they was on him. Like, you're like, you can see the white right here on the side and shit. He's just like,
I can see a white around your mouth.
White around your lip. It's like,
oh man. All right, man. Before we get out of here, real quick, I know updated Final Four picks. Is anything you want to change from what you already picked, or you going to stick to what you?
No, I mean, I'm trying to remember who my Final Four. Hold on,
I got all my Final Four teams are still in it.
I think that mine are still in. I had Purdue, I had Houston, I had Arizona, and Iowa. No, wait, this is the wrong one. I think I had two of them, but that's what I got in this one. All mine are still there. I think on the one that we had, I had Creighton, and then I had UConn. And what's the other one that I knew that we both agreed on? Creighton, UConn.
Houston.
Creighton, UConn, Houston. That was it. It was whoever's going to
Carolina.
Yeah. I didn't have Carolina. Whoever's going to come out of that one. I had Arizona, I think. So that's the only one different or whatever that I think. But right now, I mean, as it is, I mean, it just the UConn Iowa State game is going to be tough. But I'm going to go right now. I think Arizona is going to get – I don't know. I think Arizona with Caleb Love, if they end up going against North Carolina, I'm going to go Arizona. This whole – I'm going to stick with Houston, but I'm not going to be surprised if they lose. And then I'm going to still stick with Creighton because I just feel like that out of those bottom four right there, they're still there. I mean, Tennessee does look good, though, and Connect is balling his ass off. And so you wouldn't be surprised about that. But that UConn-Iowa State game is going to come down to – defense, and they both guard, but I feel like I'm just going to slight edge to UConn, it's just that's it. Anything on yours? Are you going to stay the same?
I had UConn, Carolina, Creighton, and Houston.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with Carolina. I'm going to stick with UConn.
Creighton and Houston. What you got?
I think I'm going to go Purdue.
Really?
I think they might get by.
You think they're going to get by?
Yeah, I think they're going to get to the first Final Four.
This is going to be the year for them, then, huh? I mean, they've been playing with that for a while, so it just, I mean, you ain't the off on that one.
Edie's just been too hard to stop, and so I think they get to their first Final Four since 1980.
Right.
So
that'll be nice.
And then in the South, man, that's tough. I'm gonna stick with Houston.
You think that they get Duke and then they'll handle anybody else out of that NC State game there, huh?
Yeah, I think so. So
hey, and just real quick on the other side, on the girl side, Doc, have you seen Juju play over at USC?
Yes.
My! And she's only a freshman,
bro. She's
She's crazy talented.
Yeah, she's really good.
It's like I mean, she'll go through the game, like it'll be stretches where she just get it, she'll pass it, some things will go on, and she just like whatever, and then she'll just score 9 in a row like it's nothing.
Yeah,
and come down, like, you know what I mean? You just like, man, like it's there's some. I mean, like there's gonna be some games that are coming up this weekend. They're too on like that girl side that we got to talk about on Monday because it's gonna be
absolutely.
There's gonna be some games there too. Like all of the top ones are still in. Except for who lost? Iowa State. No, Ohio State lost.
Yeah,
Ohio State lost that one, right?
Yeah.
And I wasn't. Yeah, and I wasn't expecting that to happen. But they're still like everybody who I still think was gonna get there. Like all of a sudden, it's like yikes! Like that Final Four is be looking pretty. And like Paige is hooping. Caitlin Clark is going. Like LSU's not. I mean, I think they're starting to figure some things out. Like it's.
It's getting juicy.
It's getting that for sure.
Juicy.
It is getting that for sure.
All right, man. Well, we gotta get out of here. We gotta you gotta get that work in. I'm gonna let you get back to doing what you was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Stupid.
You know what I'm saying? hey, yo. Yeah, folks. We appreciate y'all joining us. And we're gonna leave it at that. You know, just be good to your peoples, be good to your family. Don't be P. Diddy. Don't be P. Diddy.
Damn, that's twice. That's twice. That's twice. I thought you was gonna let it go. That's twice.
Hardwood knuckleheads, we out. We out.